Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Greetings of peace, mercy, and blessings, everyone. Yet again, we continue with another class, inshallah, about the life of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, or the Aseerah Al-Nabawiya. We left you off last time with one of the major events that took place just before the prophecy. Just before the prophecy, and that is the rebuilding of the Kaaba. So as you all know, the black stone to the Arabs was something sacred, and to put this black stone in its place, the tribes started to fight against each others, and that war was going to break up between them. Who will get the honor to put the black stone in its corner? And for 3 days and nights after building the Kaaba, the Arab tribes were at the top of the throat of each other, willing to kill for the sake of who will get the honor to put the black stone in its place. Till one elder man said, how about make a judge among you, and whatever the judgment he makes, you should all agree on it. So they said, who's going to be the judge? No one. Then they said, let us not put any judge from among us, but let's all agree. Like we said last class, and we're just recapping on the last class, but they said, let's just all agree, whomsoever, or the first man to enter into the haram, or the Kaaba space, it's the haram, will be the judge. So they all looked, and who did they see walking and coming to the circle of the Kaaba? They saw Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. When they saw Muhammad, they all got happy and excited. Now, why did they get happy and excited? If it's him, Muhammad, then we all accept his judgment, because he was well known among his people, that he was the as-sadiq, the honest, al-amin, the trustworthy. Everyone knew him by his characters before he was a prophet and a messenger. And that's why the majority of scholars of Aseerah Al-Nabawiya mention this incident just before his prophecy. And the reason behind that is to show and indicate that he had a status in the hearts of people of Mecca. They accepted him and he judged. This shows you the wisdom of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. He asked for a cloth. He put the black stone in the middle. Then he asked, let every tribe send a representative. And then he instructed the tribe's representative to carry that cloth from one side. And they all carried it, and they all had the honor to carry the black stone. And this is how Muhammad ﷺ solved the problem. And then it was Muhammad who pushed the black stone in its place and in its corner. Because of his wisdom, he brought peace and calm among the people of Mecca, because they were going to kill each other for the honor of who's going to put the black stone on its place. It shows the vision of Muhammad, his understanding, his tranquility, even before his prophecy. This is Muhammad, our beloved Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, before the prophecy. And this happened in the first 4 years of Muhammad before the prophecy again. And obviously, what's really concerns the majority of people is what's after the prophecy. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us to follow the seal of the prophets. It's what he says, that what he does, what he approves of after the prophecy, including the changes in the laws. And we should see that, inshallah, in the future classes. And the reasons why scholars mention this historical events is to show that unique character of Muhammad before he was even a prophet or a messenger. Muhammad had a high status in the eyes of the Arabs in the Arabian Peninsula. They knew him before the prophecy as as-sadiq, the honest, al-amin, the trustworthy. They knew him with his good characters, high morals, and his good ethics that when he calls people to the way of the Almighty, it'll be more convenient for them to accept him. And again, during this time, for the first 4 years of this man's life, really from all, if we look at it just from the terms of a human life, very little matter of significance occur in this man's life. By all intents and purposes, one would really say that had Muhammad not reached his 40th birthday, that he would have been known or remembered amongst his people, perhaps for one thing only, which was that he was extremely trustworthy. To be trustworthy and truthful in a polytheistic society, and even in our time today, is something that is very rare. He was known to be extremely kind to the poor people, and the orphans. And this is all mentioned in the tradition as well. Matter of fact, and this is very, very important, not a single Orientalist argues about this man's first 40 years. But after the prophecy, it's a different story. So Muhammad was a very quiet person. He didn't speak much. He didn't quote poetry. He wasn't a poet. He wasn't known to engage in discourse with the people. If we compare ourselves today to this man, or honestly, any prophet or a messenger, how do we fit in to the examples and role models of humanity? So Muhammad was also a contemplative person. He liked to go off and reflect on his own self. Muhammad had no aspiration of being a leader within his own people. And just before his 40th lunar year, which is so just prior to his 40th lunar year, because the Muslims, when they talk about the years, they're talking about lunar years. We're talking about lunar years, which is about 11 days shorter from a solar year each year. So there is a difference between lunar and solar year. So the Muslims, when they talk about the years, they're talking about lunar years, which is about 11 days shorter of a solar year each year. At the age just before his 40th birthday, he began to see some dreams in the tradition.